Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to The Walking Dead Season 3, The New Frontier. So we learned that Clementine used to be part of the New Frontier, which is basically just we chose that to make her part of the New Frontier. I'm pretty sure the story would have not changed much had I chosen otherwise. But we're kind of learning, or at least we're molding the story in this
Conrad?
choose your own adventure.
Did he not make it out?
I guess also... let's see. He lost it.
He lost it in the tunnel. Attacked us.
What do you mean? What happened?
He and Clem started arguing, and then shit just went south. We had to leave him behind.
Shit!
So
Fuck!
the next guy probably gonna get killed is this guy.
Conrad.
And the girl, where is she? Or should we assume the worst?
Let's see.
She ran off.
I just don't know what the hell is going on anymore. God, what a shit show!
And see, now
isn't what
he's the
anyone's
one
wanted.
that's the threat. Right after I had to shoot Conrad
Right
because
now, we
he's
need
the
to find
threat.
Kate and Eleanor.
And best case scenario here,
You're
I
right.
can think Clementine
I
will
just wish-
definitely survive. Javi might not. Conrad might not. The boy. Jesus might not. He might. Kate and Eleanor
The gates are this way.
might.
If your people
might
are
not.
here, that's where they would have ended up.
We're already in New Richmond.
Why
We
is it
just
so
had to walk
quiet?
through a tunnel.
Thought there'd be New Frontier marching in the streets and shit. Practicing on walkers or
Let's see.
whatever the fuck they do.
It does seem strangely quiet.
Maybe we just got lucky.
Maybe there's just snipers everywhere. Or maybe they enforce a strict curfew, sound curfew type thing, where nobody makes sound ever.
Ah, fuck. Did they see us?
Could also
I don't
be
think
that,
so.
that
Can you see anything,
Richmond is
What are
no
they doing?
longer under control of the New Frontier, and
That's their car!
Hey, keep it down.
maybe something weird has happened here. Could also be that Kate and Eleanor convinced the New Frontier's
Kate?
people
Kate, can you hear me?
that they convinced
Kate,
her
talk to me. Say something.
that they were part of the New Frontier too, or joined the New
Javi?
Frontier.
Yes.
Could really use something to take the edge off right about now.
She just wants to. Let's see.
I think you smoked it all.
Completely different response than what I was gonna
Kate!
wanted
Are
to
you-
say.
Are you okay? Come here.
Where's Eleanor?
She went ahead to get help. She hasn't come back.
Damn it. They must have got her.
Jesus,
See,
how far
I
is it
just
to their
feel
compound?
like
Not too much farther now. A couple blocks at most.
this is a.
Gabe, help me
We're
lift
just
her
gonna
up.
get a different story, completely. It might be that Jesus here is in charge of the New Frontier now. Let's see. I'll reason with them.
I'm thinking we walk up to their front door and pray for the best.
All right, fine.
Now,
Here we
Clementine, almost, I would guess, is going to show back up and save the day after we get captured. And we almost certainly are going to get captured. Or maybe not captured, but just get put in danger.
There it is. New Richmond.
I don't feel like
We're here, Kate.
Richmond
I'm gonna get
was
you
ever
inside,
not
okay?
going to be under control of the New
Javi?
Frontier. Look at her
They can
neck.
save me.
It's bouncing back
How
and
about
forth.
you and me finally take
And
that
see,
trip to
that's a
Norway?
great example of the Telltale engine
The
just
Northern
does not
Lights.
have a physics engine that
Remember?
works.
Sky lit up all green and purple and white snow.
So, like, it's
All
just
around us.
animating horribly or
First,
badly.
we get inside and get you to a doctor, okay?
Jesus, there's
It's
a solid
been probably
possibility
a
this isn't
decade
gonna go our
plus
way.
that
If you
they've
wanna stay
needed to
behind,
just move over
I
to
wouldn't blame
Unity
you.
or Unreal
Hey.
Engine.
This is where I was going in the first place.
okay.
You again? You must have some kind of death wish.
She needs medical help.
And you have one of our people.
Uh-huh. What's your point? After
Let's
what
see.
you did to our people? I'm not inclined to help any of you.
Let's just try and talk to this guy.
I
He
know
seems
we've both
kinda
got a bone to
reasonable.
pick here, but we can hash that out later. She needs to get to the hospital or she's gonna die.
Then I guess she's gonna die.
Wow,
It was your men
seems
that
like...
shot her. Your bullets. You owe it to us to help now.
We don't owe you shit.
See, he
It's
seems
got
kind of reasonable.
nothing to do with me. Your people, your problem.
That girl your people shot, that was her daughter. And the other one, Gabe, he's right here beside me watching her die. You can stop this if you want to.
Please! Kate's dying! She needs help!
It's not like I don't have a heart, okay? But your people started this whole fucking thing in the first place.
Let's not forget what you did at Prescott. What you did to our home.
Prescott, right? That whole situation was a damn mess. It happened. It's over. Nothing I can do about it now.
Please, I am begging you, just let us
Just
in.
trying to be the peaceful guy, trying to be the realistic
Now,
guy.
all of you, lower your weapons.
Might be a good idea to play along here, at least for now.
You put him down, I'll see that as an expression of good faith. Nice and easy.
Okay.
Or else this is gonna end bad.
I've already committed to this, so
Everybody.
I have to do.
Put him down.
So, like,
Trip, please.
You're the boss.
this whole story goes backwards and
Hands
forwards.
behind your
There's
heads,
definitely
all of you.
scenarios where
We let him do
it
this.
feels
It's
like
over.
you
We
should.
can't give him another inch.
Like, sometimes scenarios seem like the right move is to
For Kate, okay?
go for the peaceful solution. Sometimes
Now,
the scenarios
get
seem to
on
be
your
the
knees.
violent
If he
solution.
was gonna kill us, I think he'd have done it by now.
Do you hear me? I said knees.
Let's see. So no choice there at all.
Guess you were serious about this after all.
And it doesn't seem like there's too many new
What the hell's
frontiers
going on out
man.
here?
They said they weren't here to hurt anybody, so I was trying to see if they...
Oh my god.
Oh, it's my brother.
Dad?
Was not expecting that. Episode 2, Ties That Bind, Part 2. I was definitely not expecting David to come back. That one got me. I don't know if I particularly wanted him to come back because he was a total jackass in all previous instances that we've seen of him. That starts to make the story interesting, putting in an actual character that I actually care about. It seems like the rest of the game is probably going to be interaction between Javi and David. Could anything have been done differently at this point? Could perhaps his daughter not have been shot? I don't think so. I think either Conrad or the girl were going to get shot, and I think the girl was probably going to get shot, David's daughter, because they wanted to have some hint at a romantic potential there between Conrad and Clementine. Interesting point here that they've not mentioned the Clementine at any point in the story about like puberty and you know, having periods as a girl or anything like that. So you kind of have to just assume she figured all of that out or was given the information off screen for there to be any kind of romantic interest. That opens the door to thinking about that, at least, because last time we saw Clementine in the previous game, she was probably just about going through puberty, maybe. Now she's clearly a teenager. so they skipped a lot of the awkward growth period, a point in their life. How did you deal with David and Kate's argument? You and 60.8% of players told David that Kate wanted to leave him, whereas 39.2% of the players didn't, which I don't know if I really meant to say that or phrase it the way Javi said it. What I would guess also on each of these episodes is that there's a instance where 5 different writers write each episode, but the 5 different writers get to add in the twist at the end of the previous episode. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if the writer for the next episode said, I want to bring back this character, I want this twist, and he told that information to the writers of episode 1 and 2. That being said, episode 2 was incredibly short. This whole game is incredibly short, but it's just so blatantly and obviously missing gameplay, missing things that don't matter. In previous Telltale games, you've picked up items that you didn't really need. In the one instance where I was walking around and picking up things to get the car winch to work, I think I needed all of those items. There's also not any new things or different things to look at, not any extra things or lines of dialogue or conversation that could be missed. It seems like you'd almost certainly not miss any line of dialogue or conversation except for playing the game a second time. And I imagine at this point they've also realized that people don't play these games multiple times. Not nowadays. When this first came out, when season 1 came out first and people were live streaming it and people were super interested in The Walking Dead as a series, that would have been the time that people would have tried to play the game multiple times. Now, I don't think so. And I can't really believe that anybody would go back and play season 1 and season 2 to get a different Clementine, to play a different slightly different story in season 3. And that's pretty obvious because they now have a Clementine generator that you can just do on their website to make a few decisions, and those few decisions determine how Clementine will be in the final season. How did you handle the new frontier at the gates of Prescott? You and 40.6% of players surrendered, so not the majority there. 58.6% of players opened fire, and 0.8% of players tried to negotiate. Interesting. I would have thought I would have tried to negotiate, but there seemed to be a much narrower possibility of negotiating than surrendering. Also notice you're not getting a bar there. And they've never done like pie charts either. You could do a pie chart, and that'd be fine, but just no bars. And then we get the bars back when there's 2 decisions. Did you trust Jesus? You and 86.2% of players took him at his word. Like this is almost like a meme. Somebody should just take a screenshot as "Did you trust Jesus?" Almost certainly. Jesus will die at some point. Maybe he'll betray us at some point, but I don't know. Like, we might see a whole flip in the next episode where he becomes the bad guy and the new frontier turns out to be the good guy. Of course, the branding thing is weird. If you're going to start a it's not a cult, what would you call it? A militia, and you're requiring members to brand themselves. That's a bad first step. How did you deal with Conrad's threat to Clementine? You and 89.4% of players killed Conrad, which almost certainly that means that if I hadn't done it, Clementine would have done it, and I would have just forced Clementine to pull the trigger. I don't see any way that Clementine ends up dead there or shot. And that might be the end of Clementine for this whole game. Interestingly enough, she may just be written out of the story at this point. A lot of people, of course, trust Clementine because you've played with her for 2 seasons. But even at that, just trying to do my best as a role player, the idea of Clementine being in the wrong there, or going with that deal and trying to surrender and trade her, is not a good deal that I think many people would take. Also interesting to think about how would that have played out, because now that we know David is with the New Republic, and it's not the New Republic, that's Fallout, the New Frontier. I don't know what Clementine did. Did she steal from them, and are they gonna throw her in jail, or are they gonna kill her, or what? Like, I don't know what she did or why she doesn't want to go back. Did she just drop off AJ and then abandon him? Is this really she's hiding from the responsibility she took on by taking care of AJ? I wouldn't be surprised. She is a teenager. Could be a whole number of things. How far did you go to get into Richmond? You and 95.9% of players capitulated to Max's demands, which inherently, when you have such a high percentage of players doing that one choice, you've not written a good video game choice. It might as well have not been a choice at that point. And I don't like the green versus red because it does imply that your choices are different, like the right choices, when clearly the choices in these games are not right or wrong. They are simply as they are. And get The Walking Dead Season 1. Like, what is the point of seeing this ad? See, this is a bigger issue with Telltale in general, is that they're just greedy. Like, the people in charge are greedy. They want to show you an ad in a game you paid full price for, considering I would call it full price, considering how much money you get. Oh, and then they want to show you an ad for a completely unrelated thing that they've taken an advertisement deal with. So I guess we've seen all the players now, and spoilers would be abound. Well, in the previous games, that certainly has been the case, where we've seen spoilers in the pictures, but yeah, it seems like we're probably spending the rest of the game in New Richmond. Shocking developments drive a wedge between brothers in arms. And we have about 10 more minutes, so there's really no reason to not just go in here. Let's see, what do we have under extra? Just some more your choices. But you can't see what the choices are for the next episode, so that's not an issue. Looks like to me we've got a slightly different loading screen, but I could be wrong. This could have always been the loading screen, or it could just be that it cycles every now and then. I definitely wasn't feeling very good about this game for the first 2 episodes. Like, so the first half of any game should be the good half, since so many players don't make it to the end. The fact that the first half was not the good half seems like a mistake. And I guess, except for this first section, where it seems kind of crazy that we got any characterization of that girl at all, just to kill her off, you don't see anybody except for characters that are probably not going to die until they hit a certain point. And we don't really see anybody there at all. But yeah, so we got 9 more minutes. Let's just hop into it. I feel like I should get a previously screen too. And I don't think this game does that. Like previously in the previous season, and then they would show you footage of actual gameplay that you played in
previously on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I guess we are going to get one of those. Remember, there would have been about a month's gap at least.
You don't have to feel his cup
between,
up anymore, baby.
Between
Grandpa
the
is
previous
sleeping.
each season's
Yaya.
releases.
People's awake.
Solamente está confundido.
Mama.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So this doesn't really show you where the zombie apocalypse comes from. It just seems like it's an airborne thing that people who die get turned into a zombie. And see, I let that guy go.
Put your hands up and close your eyes.
I don't feel like she was wearing the clothing before.
Thanks.
Mari!
Yeah, that's all Mari matters.
Shit!
She was gonna get shot in
I
the
have
head.
to stay with my family.
Go. I'll hold him off.
And see, I chose to
go.
stay with my family, and
Hey,
I think maybe she didn't.
what do we call you?
Sorry, forgot to introduce myself. It's Paul, but my friends call me Jesus.
I fucking knew it.
You're one of them?
You're goddamn right she is.
So,
You want to shoot me? Shoot me.
How about I shoot your little boyfriend here instead?
yeah, we shoot Conrad. Still don't, for a second,
Holy shit.
regret that at all. Like, he's threatening a child. If somebody was threatening to shoot a child in the regular world,
What the hell's going
I
on
think
out
you'd
here?
be justified on shooting them.
Oh my god.
And, like, this is the only part so far in the first part of the game that has interested me at all, is the fact that the father, David, comes back and he's a new frontiersman. This game series adapts to the choices you make. The story is tailored by how you play. Only the first sentence is ever accurate there. The story is not tailored by how you play. I mean, maybe, in the sense that if you fail a quick time event, maybe then you would get a slightly different ending outcome. But usually if you fail a quick time event, you just die.
And that we didn't have to risk life and limb every damn day for food and water and gas for the stove. Am I babbling? I babble when I'm scared.
Nothing's easy anymore, Kate. But that doesn't mean we don't have to try.
I know. It's just hard to get used to. That's all.
We get over there, we grab the tank, and we get the hell back home. If we're lucky, we won't see a single one of those things.
Fingers crossed.
There's also some weirdness in a zombie apocalypse like this. It's like, where's the line between stealing and, like, salvaging? There really isn't too much
Let's
difference.
take it and go.
So I'm probably going to end up stealing something that somebody else was storing up and collecting.
Empty.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. God damn it!
See, Kate...
Of course it's empty. Why would we get that lucky?
Kate
It's not
is
like we
also a
needed it or
threat,
anything.
but this is also a
Hey,
flashback, so...
keep it down. I know it sucks, Kate, but you gotta watch out.
I'm sorry. I'm just sick of this shit. I just thought
Like, she was still
this one
kind of
time, we deserve to catch a fucking break.
She was a threat always, just because she wanted to smoke and get high and run away and not take care of the kids. What was I supposed to press there? It just prompted me something. So I'm just gonna keep on smashing his head. And he gave me a different prompt.
I'm sorry.
There's no really.
I was just so fucking scared.
No explanation.
It's okay.
I wanted to kill
Also,
him.
why
I really
the bites
did.
turn you into a zombie so fast,
I know
but
him.
the
That was
airborne,
one of Gabe's friends. True.
one of the airborne
He
virus
was so
waits
sweet.
until you die.
He always had a smile on his face. Gabe worshipped him.
Okay. So you recognized him. That's no reason to let it kill you. And it was going to kill you.
I know. I know you're right. I don't even know what to call them. If they're not people, if they're just the dead, muertos.
That's what we'll call them.
I thought we were gonna die. I thought Gabe and Mariana were just gonna wake up and we would just be
See,
gone.
and I'm just trying to push her to
When it was
not
all
have a relationship with me.
Oh my God.
Because
Should,
that too is
get
her
back inside.
trying to use
Okay.
a relationship as a crutch. You're not helping her become a strong, independent woman, as it were, by letting her use you for emotional support on top of everything else. Like, you already got kids that need to be taken care of. An adult has to be expected to become self-reliant.
I know we all wanted to stay here in the house and wait for David to come back. But it's been 3 months since he drove away with your mom.
What are you saying?
We're not safe here. Not anymore. You and I could have been killed out there. For an empty can. There's gotta be a safer place out there. Somewhere
see.
not so isolated.
I'm just gonna say no place is
What
safe,
makes you
but
think
since
it's
this
gonna
is a
be better anywhere
flashback,
else?
we already
Everything
know they
and
got on the
everyone
road and started
outside this
moving.
door is dead.
Exactly. How long until one of those things gets in?
So David
We
must
stay.
have
Somebody's going to
grabbed
get hurt, or worse.
the
You
mother
really
when
think
she
the
was
kids are gonna
bit
be happy with this plan?
The kids will understand.
and
And if they
drove
don't,
the
we'll
night
just make
that the
them see it our
breakout
way.
happened,
We
apparently.
have to go.
How come?
See, the only way
I
I
don't
could
want
think
to
that the
leave.
zombie apocalypse could even have happened.
We're safe inside the house.
Uh,
And I bet we can find more food in the neighborhood if we just look harder.
Let's see.
We need to find somewhere with more people around. People who are still alive. People who don't mind sharing their supplies.
We have
See,
our own
these
supplies.
kids look too young
enough.
considering
Not
it was
anymore.
only a couple
What about
month
Dad?
differences. Why didn't they write him a note?
What's he gonna think if he shows up and we just ditched him? We might never find him
Let's
again.
see. You
We
could have
have to
just
look out for
written a
ourselves now,
letter
Gabe. I wish things
if
were
he ever
different,
came back and was
but our
solved.
safety's more important.
But we're
solved it.
safe here.
No, we're not.
See, it feels like Conrad
Sorry, Gabe.
had a.
But
I
Javi's
mean,
right.
Gabe.
How about
Gabe is his name.
you guys go and I stay here?
You're a kid. That's not how it works.
I can take care of myself. If I need any help, I'll just
He had like a
ask my
growth
friends.
spurt.
Gabe, honey,
Now,
What?
it's probably bad parenting that they weren't floating this idea and getting
what's
him
wrong with
used
her?
to it.
Why's she acting so weird? Uncle Javi?
Let's see.
Nothing's wrong with her. She's just a little shook up. That's all.
we can't lie to him, Javi. He needs to know.
Will you guys just tell me what's going on?
Your friend, Drew, from down the street, he didn't make it. He turned into one of them. So you understand.
See, the
why,
girl,
don't you? Why we
she's
have
such
to
a
leave?
not
If that happened to
character
you,
that she's just
I couldn't bear
standing
it.
literally half off screen
When do we have to go?
until we have like one statement from her.
Tomorrow, as soon as it's daylight.
I want to leave him a note.
I'll help you get started.
Good idea.
Okay?
What are we gonna tell him? I want to say something good.
Let's see. You tell him we love him.
Something that won't make him sad.
Just tell him we love him. all of us.
Hmm.
And nothing's gonna change that. Not ever.
Hmm.
I like that.
And see, this is interesting because we're gonna flash
forget.
forward and see that David is in the New Frontier.
Thank you.
In the first half of this game has taught us to hate the New Frontier because they one of their members shot the girl there and killed her and shot the mother in the stomach. But honestly, this is just friendly fire. It's not something that I would blame all of the New Frontier for what they're doing. I would say that we need to see that there's a systematic reason that the New Frontier is inherently bad and every single member is bad, and we're not seeing that. We're seeing other things. They kind of the opposite of that. So she leaves the bunny. This whole intro sequence is doing credits very cinematically. Although I would argue you probably are wasting your budget on animation for doing a cinematic intro. And see how she specifically chose to bring that drugs with her, the marijuana, which is not going to help anything. There was 4 joints in there, and she smoked them all over the course of 3 months. Which, I mean, what were you gonna do with those 4 joints? Save them up for 1 a year on your birthday? Save it up for every 10 years? Like, that's the last bit of marijuana you're ever gonna get. And you're certainly not gonna wake and bake every day on 4 joints. Well, it's been 30 minutes, and the flashback sequence really was unimportant. It's just more storyline trying to establish that the characters we're playing as and we're playing around are important. When it's really hard to feel that when you're not playing as Clementine. I really feel like they should have just flipped it around. You should have been playing as Clementine. You should have had Javi become your main character, sidekick. Have him tell you stories the whole time. Clementine could be constantly prodding him. What happened with you guys in the outbreak, and then you could give control of the player, let the player control Javi's decisions in flashbacks. But in most of the action sequences, in most of the present day time, you should just have Clementine be the main character that you're playing as. Have her make the decisions and have her solve the puzzles. And, you know, if they had done a little bit better game design, they probably should have had Javi say something in his flashback stories that would lead to finding something or knowing something that solves the puzzles in the current time, so that there's some reason and connection to it. Right now, there really isn't. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.